Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to be talking about building financial freedom as a real estate agent. What's up guys? My name is Mida and welcome back to the channel. I'm here kind of in a jungle type environment where I live. So pretty cool. Hope you enjoy the view and maybe the sounds of the wind and the birds. So I really want to talk about this idea of creating financial freedom as a real estate agent. You may have got your real estate license to become financially free, to be your own boss, to have that time freedom, to have that, maybe eventually to have that location freedom once you achieve financial independence. Whatever your goals are around getting into real estate and creating wealth and financial freedom, that's what I want to talk about today. There's three main ways to build financial freedom as a real estate agent, and I'm going to cover that. But first, I just want to talk about the idea that you need to increase your income and reduce your expenses. Now, that might not be earth-shattering news or information, but I want you to think of it on a little bit of a different twist. Think of it as reducing expenses for items, services, things that you really don't put high value on. I'll give you an example. When I was still selling real estate before I retired and became financially independent as a real estate agent at age 31, I had three cars. I had a brand new F-250 turbo diesel, I had a Range Rover, and I had a BMW X3. And it was just my wife and I. And by then she had already retired from selling real estate, so she wasn't working as a real estate agent, so she really wasn't driving that much. But we had three cars. We had the truck for our RV that we were going to use and take around the country pretty soon. And the Range Rover was awesome. I was kind of driving both of those. She loved driving the truck. But either way, we had three cars for two people and they all had payments. So I think between all of them, the payments were like $2,000 a month. Now, I didn't value those cars at $2,000 a month. Sure, they were nice cars, but I wasn't getting that much value out of them at the time. So we could have easily sold one or even two cars. So think about different areas of your life where, and you might actually have to write out your expenses and get a feel for what you're spending money on if you don't know already. Just like, what are you not getting value on? Like right now, we have one car because neither of us drive much, but we have two golf carts and they're really nice. I mean, both our golf carts are valued, or at least we paid for about $50,000 for the two of them. But then we have a used car that we only paid about $30,000 for. And that's the car we have because we just don't drive a lot. Our community is a golf cart community. So that's what we're using. We don't value luxury clothing like the Louis Vuitton and all those things, so we don't spend money on it. But when we fly, we typically fly first class and we stay in great Airbnbs or hotels while on vacation. And there's my golf cart right there. Give you a little shot. That's the 4-seater. We have a matching 6-seater. You really just gotta get an idea of what brings you value that you're spending money on and cut those expenses ruthlessly. If you enjoy eating out, keep that expense. If you could care less to really be eating out a lot, then cut that expense, reduce it. So now that we got your income up and your expenses down, your income up by selling more houses, increasing your profits, maybe building additional streams of income, let's talk about what you're gonna do to invest that extra money you have coming in. The first thing, and the one that I'm most excited about right now, is syndication type deals. You can invest in apartment buildings, you can invest in self-storage, you can invest in car washes, hotels, and I'm invested in all those things right now. And they're bringing me residual income on a monthly basis. And the tax benefits are incredible in those deals. I had one close actually this past year. Typically there's a 5 to 7 hold on that money. So you're invested in a project or an asset for 5 to 7 years. But this one sold in just over 2 years and I got a 32% return on my money, yearly return, not overall return. That's really good. And it was pretty much tax-free, or I think it was actually all tax-free. Of course, talk to your CPA. But because of the depreciation you get from owning real estate, that was essentially tax-free money. Pretty cool, right? The beautiful thing about this type of investing is if you don't yet need to live on the returns, the dividends, you just keep saving those and reinvesting in those in deals. So it becomes like this snowball rolling down a hill, picking up more snow. That's like your money. When you invest it, it's like rolling down a hill, collecting more money as it goes. And now you got this big money snowball that you can eventually live off when the time comes. The second one is going to be dividend investing, index fund investing. I prefer to invest in indexes. I do own some individual stocks, but I like stocks, dividend stocks, index funds that pay a dividend, because you can live off the dividends and you never have to sell the stock. I'm invested in one called VTSAX. It's the total stock market index fund through Vanguard. I'm invested in another one called VTI. That's their exchange traded fund, pretty much the same thing. I believe the other one, the dividend one that I'm in, is VOO. I'll correct it in the video if it's not. And then also a high paying dividend one through Schwab. And I'll also put that on the screen so you can see the ticker symbol for that. So those first two categories, syndication deals and stocks, index funds primarily, is where the vast majority of my money is. It's essentially 100% passive, which is what I like. And if you're a high income earner, I always recommend just get really good at your craft, work, invest that money, and then live off that money as soon as you desire to. Versus, say, as a real estate agent, becoming a real estate investor and now you're flipping houses while trying to be a successful real estate agent. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Sure, if you want to buy some buy and hold type properties and things like that, well, go ahead and do that. But if you're spending 40, 50 hours a week as a real estate agent, how much time do you reasonably have to also be a real estate investor? Invest your money passively and watch it grow. But with that being said, the third one is going to be a little more active, but I put it here because I feel like the returns and the opportunity right now are just so good, and that's going to be short-term rental investing. I own two. One's in Michigan, the other one's in Puerto Rico, and they're both doing really well. I actually just moved the Puerto Rico one to more of a mid-term rental because the turnovers and the repairs and things like that are just a little more work, a little more of a, I guess, nuisance than they might be in the States. So we decided to just turn that into more of a midterm type rental. And that's been really great. The one in Michigan is definitely a short-term rental, and it's been going awesome. When it comes to short-term rentals, you're going to get principal pay down. So you're paying down the mortgage. You're going to get the depreciation. You're going to get the appreciation in the asset. And then, of course, you're going to get monthly cash flow. It's a win-win from so many angles. And this is one of my favorites, you can also enjoy the property when nobody's there. We love that. So our house in Michigan, we'll spend last year a couple months there. This year it'll be a couple weeks there. And it's just so cool that you have the same property. Like our house in Michigan, we have our electric bikes there. We have some clothes there in the owner's closet. So when we get there, it's like it is our home, but it's not costing us anything by owning it. We're actually making money and actually a really good return. So those are my top 3 strategies to become financially independent as a real estate agent. The 2, like I said, that I'm most excited about are index funds, dividend investing, and the syndication deals, because they're the most passive way to invest. And then third, short-term rentals. And not even because of the total return, but because having multiple homes, being able to live in multiple different areas is something that just really appeals to our lifestyle. So we're going to continue doing that, and we'll buy a couple more over the next couple of years. We're looking right now in Breckenridge, Colorado, and who knows after that. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, a like on the video so other people can find it, other agents can find it, because it's my mission to help real estate agents become financially free.